Hey guys, welcome to J Plays. I am Iceman, and welcome to the latest devblog in my work on Nanatama Chronicle of Dungeon Maker, or as I like to call it, Dungeon Maker 3 for the Sony PSP. As you can guess, another floor has been completed, though this one not entirely. Well, in regards to its content, not 100%, but as far as building the level up, I've gone through everything. So what's covered in this one? Just saving my notes. So it's the vast majority of what falls on the 13th floor of the dungeon. As per usual, I'll take you through all the work that's been done, and then I'll show you what to expect in the level. Okay, so we start on day number 89, and this goes all the way up to day number 94. So 5 more days. Now, if you remember how the last video ended, that one still had bits of day 89, but I had to translate stuff on the remainder. So as far as the dungeon is concerned, there was 2 conversations with Field that occur on the 13th floor that you will discover. Those have been translated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new items were translated. So the first one is the Minotaur's Axe. So you get that from... Give me a second, just double check. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so the Minotaur's Axe, so that drops from that battle with the Minotaur that you have to fight. Yeah, cool. Just making sure. Yep, yeah, so Minotaur's Axe. That is... I think I've got that on Burn is carrying that at the moment. Yep, so Minotaur's Axe, that's this one. Pretty damn good two-handed axe. So an attack value of 56, and a impact, that's this little... There's no mouse. Ah, there it is. So gives you that of 45. It also gives +3 to strength and +3 to soul. So overall, pretty damn good weapon. Next up was Mole Claw. So Mole Claw is... Let's see, where are you? Mole Claw, that's this one. Next was Mole Fur. That is down here. Mole Fur. As you see, it gives a +8 to your earth resistance. The next was Sealed Orb. That's what you get for when you actually beat the Minotaur. That is... Sorry. That's right, that's this one. So this is a weird one. So you get this seal that you get is like an empty seal. It has nothing inside. Whereas normally whenever you get a seal, like all these ones, even these ones, all of them are holding something. This is the first seal that you get that doesn't contain anything. It's just like an empty one. So that's very strange. And the last was Shock Bangle. So Shock Bangle... Shock Bangle. There we go, Shock Bangle. That is this one. Then, there was one conversation with Claire, 3 different conversations with Elena. So the first was a standard conversation. Then there was the B-class permit. Oh, okay, yes, so I got the B-class permit at this point. Then a new monster report was translated with her. A conversation with Frederick, which I assume was probably for getting the next 2 stair pieces, or stairways, so that you can go to 14 and 15 if you want. And a conversation with Sophia. Now, next up, so monster research into Lance Spider. Now that one, I don't think I have it. I did translate it, but I haven't got it in my game so far. Because that was during the recording that the last one I did, where we did encounter the land spider, but I didn't want to record it. I wanted to have a chance to go through again, but unfortunately didn't actually get to encounter the land spider again. So if I go to land spider, see, it's still black, so I can't show you that one. Next one was Minotauros, which should be really like Minotaur, but like in the game called it Minotauros, so I'm not going to touch that stuff. If that's what they call it, that is what they call it. That's not for me to decide what the names are, as far as I'm concerned. That's for the game developers themselves. There we go, Minotauros. Here we go, that's been done. So that's translated. If you remember the previous video, you fight him at the end of the level. Well, actually, in the ruins of that level. And last was Mole. That would probably be under Beast, I assume. That's this one. So that was done, that was translated. And you also get the new permit of B class. So if you do happen to get B class at this point in time and you're keeping up with the demo patches that I'm putting out for the work on this, you can catch up on that from there. And also there's a journal entry that you get. You can confirm it, that'll be... here. That, as you see, the journal entry right around here. So translation of that. Okay, what's next? So that took that's day 89. Now it takes us into day 90. On day 90, one conversation with Elena and one with Frederick were translated. Then the next things we have is 2 translations of new monster research. So the first is Succubus. So it'll be like Sucky in my one. Is it humanoid or is it Demi? Might be Demi. No? Oh, there it is right there. So I haven't actually been able to encounter this one yet. So this is one that's a side quest in the game to defeat one of these. I haven't encountered one yet, but I'm placing the magic marble floors to try to get it to show up, and the magic rooms. It'll show up eventually, but I just haven't been able to get one of them to show up yet. The next is Thief Witch. I don't have that here to show. That one happens if you place the iron treasure rooms. So if you happen to check the FAQ that I supply with this, every time I complete work on a level, I then test the level before it on the treasure rooms to see the loot table that exists for it. So once I placed the iron treasure room, the Thief Witch was one of the new enemies that shows up, but only when you place that specific room, and only on specific levels does it show up, does that enemy appear. So I got it to appear on the 12th floor. I've placed it on the 13th, but it hasn't shown. I haven't seen any Thief Witches appear yet. But that's on my to-do list to get that done. Then for the dungeon, there was a conversation with Byrne that was translated because the mystery dungeon for that floor. Let me put the game's volume down a little bit. Yeah, so the mystery dungeon for the 13th floor was, I translated the work there, and part of that is you get a new armor piece for Byrne. I'll show you that in a sec when we get to that bit of the stuff. Anyways, new items that were translated on this trip, quite a few. We have Earth Core, which is a smithing material. I'm just looking for it. There we go. Earth core. So that was one of them. Then we have an armor piece, which was. So evil armor. Oh, evil armor. That's for the. Oh yeah. That's for the one of the new enemies. The enemies that appears on that level. So evil armor. That's this one. Pretty cool looking armor, I have to say. Silver dwarf armor. Now that's the extra piece you get for burn. That's under key items. That is this one. See, burn form silver armor. Silver shield is the next one. Alright, no, that's sliced shield. Oh, I'm right on it. This one here, silver shield. Next up is stone shield. Do I not have that here? I don't see it, but I have translated it anyway. Okay, I don't see it, but I've definitely translated it. Next up is Thief. Oh, that's... Okay, these are probably from me testing out the treasure rooms. Thief's Dagger was the next one. Now that one I know drops from the Thief Witch specifically. So if I don't have it here, yeah, I don't have it. So that one is from the enemy, and it's actually makes for a good upgrade for Feel to change his weapon over. But I don't have that here, but that has been translated anyway. And the last was Wisdom Ring. Where's that? I don't see it, but it has been translated. It'll be like WIS.R. I remember translating it, but I don't have it here. That means it was probably one of the treasure chest ones. Okay, so that was it for that one. And then in the evening, coming back from the dungeon, one conversation with Elena, one conversation with Frederick, one with Sophia, and one with Vivi were translated, because at that point I got a new quest for the Thief King's Disciple. Now this is the one I haven't completed yet. But you get it, I just haven't completed it. That is this one here. So both bits of it were translated. So the beginning of the quest, which gives you this first chunk from here to about there. And then the bottom part from Sophia, where she gives you the additional info, that is this bit here. So those parts are translated. New monster research into evil pupils was translated. They're humanoid, I think, if I remember correctly. If not, they'll be Demi. One of the two, but that sounds like it will be human. There we are, right there. Evil pupil. Now, if you've played Dungeon Maker 1 or 2, this enemy should be familiar, because this enemy is in those games as well. Drops almost the same items as well. So the evil pupil, white orc was the next one. That's definitely Demi. This one. So that was translated. You need this to get the opal ring. That is for the opal ring quest. And an item that was the next thing I got translated was a new magic spell that you gain access to, which is for the Holy Ring spell. That is this one. No? Maybe not. No, this one. Holy.r. There you go. Shine Holy Light. That's a spell the White Orcs have as well. Okay. So that took us into the day part of it. At that point in time, I managed to complete the what was it? I literally just said it. Oh, that's right, the Opal Ring quest I needed to with Vivi. So that flowed through into day number 91. So in day 91, the most important bit was a conversation with Vivi that was translated, and that unlocks if you go to her store the day after completing the quest. That unlocks a new item of the Magic Jam, which, as you see here, that restores plus 500 MP. So pretty good. I mean, if you look at the previous ones, like normal magic juice recovers 50, the nectar recovers 200, and the jam recovers 500. So that's pretty good. New building materials were translated. That was firstly for the armory. That's what you need to get the disciple to show up. As I said, I haven't got him. He hasn't appeared for me yet. But that is what you need to place. Where's armory? Here we are. Armory. Magic corridor was the next one. Now, magic corridors, if you've played the previous games, should be familiar to you. That is magic.c. This one. So that one, when you place it in the dungeon, you know, it's just like a shinier version of the, and more spiffy version of the marble floors. Very nice looking. It's good if you want magic opponents to start appearing. And magic room was the other one. Here we are, magic room. That is that one. That was the morning. In the dungeon itself, no new conversations. The only items that were translated during that trip was... So Evil Gauntlet was the first one. That is this one. Pretty cool looking again. Mole Shell was the next one. That is... That's not that one. Oh, that's right. It was it wasn't Mole. Oh yeah, it is Mole Shell. Okay. I don't think I've got any on me at the moment. Normally, once you get one though, it stays there, even in the list, regardless. Oh, that's right. It's a smithing component. That's it. Yeah, there you go. Mole Shell. That was translated. Then in the evening, on returning from the dungeon, one conversation with the professor, and one's for Sophia for monster hints on the Wyvern skull. So that was translated. Let me see. New items are Mole Shell Shield. That's a new one that you can get from Guido. That is that one there. I haven't met any yet because it's not good enough. Like, I mean, I've already got better than that. The Silver Shield is better than that. That then takes us into day number 92. In the morning, the 12th letter that you can receive in the game was translated. New items of the Mage Ring. Where is it? No? Sorry, I'm half asleep. Long day. Anyway, where's rings? There we go. So it was Mage Ring, You get that for getting the mage title. I'll show you that mage title in a sec. There you are, mage rig. Gives you a plus 40 to your MP, so it's not too bad. Not spectacular. If it had MP regen, that'd be fantastic, but it doesn't. The other one is the title of mage, so that's this one here. Well, it's translated, so if you happen to get 10 spells, like learn 10 spells, then you get this title. In the dungeon itself, only 2 new items were found. So the first is fine leather. That's a smithing material. That is this one. I haven't found anything that actually like blacksmithing recipes that what do you want to call them? Things that require that, but you know, I have been finding it. Let me see what else. And King Bison Horn was the other one. Now, King Bison Horn relates to a quest. But anyway, King Bison Horn. Where's Bison Horn? Well, I don't see it, but it's definitely been translated. Okay, so that was it for the dungeon part. On returning back to town, a conversation with Claire and Elena was translated. The one with Claire would have been in relation to handing the bison horn back. New items that were translated was Earth Dragon armor, so that's definitely here. So, where's Earth Dragon? That is that one. And Earth Dragon Fold, so that's this one. Translated. And the Universal Ring, which is... Oops. You get it from Claire from completing that quest. That is this one. It'll be like Univ. It'll be like Univ.R. Where are you? I don't see you. Ah, there it is. Right there. It's okay. It gives you +5 to all your element resistances. It's okay. But like +5 doesn't make that much of a difference. In the game, like when she gives it to you, she says it greatly defends against all elements. And like, not really. +5 doesn't make that much of a difference. It's like a smidge. Just takes like a little couple of points off an attack. You need much more than that to have actual good resistance. Monster-wise, new research was done into drunk goblins. So that's the enemy that drops the bison horn, King Bison Horn, that you need to complete the quest. So that is... this enemy here. And that did it for day number 92. Already we're on to day number 93. No new conversations in the morning. Not any major events happened in the dungeon itself. The main things that were translated for day number 93 was... This was Darkslayer. Where's that? That is this one. Darkslayer. I think I'm actually using that weapon at the moment. That's pretty good. Pretty good attack stats on that thing. Silver Spear. That is this one. And the Slasher Ring. You get that off the evil pupils. So slash this one. Slasher Ring. It's okay. +1 to attack. It's okay. Nothing special. If it was like adding plus 20 to attack, then I'd be like, ooh, that's really good. Okay, in the evening, the only new monster research that was done is in white boars. That'll be under beast. There's this one. Unfortunately, the game again gave me one which with only 2 letters to do something with. So when you have to say white boar and there's like 2 letters, all you can do is really do initials. So WB it is, but the text for it is translated. And again, the text for it was very brief too. Would have liked to have said a lot more than a white-haired boar, but like that's all there was room for. Okay, and that takes us into the final day, day number 94. No new conversations in the morning were translated, or items or anything. In the dungeon, this is where we got some interesting stuff. So firstly, a new opponent joins your party. So if you've been seeing this extra person Rookie, here, you gain this new party member who is actually a demon. So you're actually getting someone who's a bad guy for once, joining you. So there was 2 conversations. Firstly, the first initial conversation, and then the second one after you fight him and win. Then there's that conversation. Those were translated. And by the way, if you want to see Rookie, there you go. That's him there. So there was a whole stack of things that were translated, mostly relating to him. So the first was black armor. I know that's with his stuff. That is... Where's black armor? Right there. Rookie form, black armor. Right there. So black armor, black spear. That's an item that Rookie comes with. So this one, again, only 2 letters I had available. So he ended up with BS, so black spear. Then Devil Orb, so that's a new key item that you get for getting him in the first place. That is this one, Devil Orb. And Evil Boots. That is from the Evil Pupils. So that is... right there. Again, pretty awesome looking armor. That is the Evil Boots. Then on returning back to town, 1 conversation with Elena, which was quite long, and a much shorter one with Guido were translated. And that takes us through all the days. So this one, not as much stuff. Only took me about half an hour to run you through all the main changes that happened. Let's take you off to the dungeon, and I'll put the volume up a little bit. Hopefully that's not too loud. Yeah, well, let's take you off to the dungeon and show you what you can expect on floor number 13, I think. And also, I'll show you a little bit of what to expect on the 14th floor as well. And it'll be just my luck, by the way. I'll probably get the quest enemy to appear just when I'm running around and showing you. As what tends to happen when I'm doing this. They won't show up at all on the times when I'm going through it, just on myself. But then once I've got the record button going, then all of a sudden they start showing up. Anyway. So on this floor, if you want the drunk goblin to appear, you need to be placing a lot of bar rooms like this one. The key is, though, it has to be a bar room with darkness nearby. So it just says darkness emitting rooms. What I found is that you need to place a room like this one. That's the key. Darkness room. So make sure you're placing one of those near a bar. And then once you're on a darkness day, so that's when I say darkness day, so that's when these symbols up here, if you see a dark cloud symbol, that's darkness. So that, it's darkness guardian day. So on that then the drunk goblin may appear. Doesn't mean he will, but he's at least in the thing. Now, here is the armory. This is a new room type specific to Nanatama. Doesn't exist in the previous two, as far as I can remember. That's the only new one on this level that I can think of. If there's anything else, I'll point it out when I see it. Okay, here's some enemies you can expect. Skeletons, you know, you've been fighting them since every level since, I don't know what, since at least the 8th floor or something. Probably like even the 6th. Here's our evil pupils. As I said, if you've played the other games, this should be a totally familiar enemy to you. As per usual, if any new items drop whilst I'm doing this demonstration, I'll translate them before I do the next patch release. Now, while I'm demonstrating, I'll show you what Rookie is. I'm currently leveling him up at the moment, so I got him up to like level 20. You get him at level 17. Oh, sorry, 25. Yeah, but you get him at level 17. Here's the drunk goblin, by the way. I'm surprised he's showing up today. It's not a darkness day. I just remembered, by the way. It's not darkness days that they appear. It's actually on moon days. So moon day is like that black circle in the corner. Oh, now he shows up. That'd be right. See, like I told ya, when I'm recording, then he shows up. Okay, well, he was very easy. Cool, well that's done. I'll translate the additional conversation that happens when I go back to town later. But I'll translate it before I, do the next update. Okay, in that case, it means everything for this floor is done. Do I have any other quests? I don't think I do. No. Cool. In that case, this is complete. I personally am going to save after I finish this level, and I'll go through it on my own and do the content. Here's Rookie. By the way, there's not a lot of new enemies in this particular level. As I said, you've got the white boars, the evil kibbles, and the white orcs. That's the main three. Damascus sword. Okay. Here's another one of the room types that you get new in this level, but if you've played the previous games, this room should be very familiar to you, as this was even in Dungeon Maker 1. It's called the Magic Room. So you place this room, increases the chances of succubus, mainly the evil pupils though. Evil pupils and maybe wizards, but I haven't had any wizards show up yet. This, by the way, is the magic marble, or magic corridors. Really like magic marble corridors. Nice fancy corridors. If you've played any of the previous two games, again, this should be a familiar corridor to you, as this has been in the franchise since the first game. It's not mentioned in the notes, but also the quest, the boxes that are in that room, the box I just opened, that was translated as well. Here's the White Orc. That's the new one on this level. Again, if you've played the earlier Dungeon Maker games, should be a very familiar enemy to you, as the enemy was in all the other games. Alright, so that's all the 13th floor. Let's show you a little bit of what to expect in the 14th. Just saving my game. Yeah. This way I can come back to this later, after I finish recording. Alright, so on the 14th... if if you want to reach the ruins, you have to go up to the top. It's in top right corner. There's not a lot to the ruins in this one. It doesn't take you up to the ground floor ruins, unfortunately. There's no elevator going up there. The only things that there are, there's not even any loot. All there is... I'll show you what to expect. You see? It's a very small one. And another... Okay. Empty room with nothing in it. Which is a big waste. As you can see, the ruins in this floor are very short. But in here is where you get Rookie after fighting him for a little bit. They're a very easy battle though. I had no trouble with him at all. Had him down in like about 60 seconds. So that's where you fight him, and yeah. And then you gain him, and then you'll get the conversations that flow afterwards. Okay, so that's about everything to introduce for Devblog number... Are we actually at 30 now? Let's see. Yes, we are. Devblog number 30. Damn, 30 videos already. Okay, so as usual, if you'd like to help out this project, firstly, like if you're a really big fan of Dungeon Maker and you'd like to support the project, you can in the link of every one of these videos, I put a link to my Patreon. Obviously, I'm not trying to ask you money or anything like that. It's just I'm just telling you it's there. If you want to support it, you've got the option. If you know anything about ROM hacking, I, even at this point in the project, would welcome anyone who knows how to implement variable width fonts into a game. Also, if you know how to about compression, getting image files out of files, that'd be great, just to translate the basic images. Like, you know, when you see you don't see it in this one, but some of the floors have like Japanese characters in front of them. I can't translate those because those aren't in the game code. They're actually images stored in a file somewhere. It's just as much as when you go here, if you see this stuff at the top, that's an image file. It's not text that's in the code, you know? So any help with that would be fantastic and welcome. And that way I'd be able to translate the menu screen at the very start of the game to being in English. Even stuff like that would mean an immense difference for the project. Having variable width fonts would mean we don't have to have skills like as you see in abbreviated form here. We can actually have them in their full words. And I could have lowercase letters and stuff in speech. That'd be fantastic. That's the first thing. And you can always subscribe to my channel on YouTube. I appreciate that. I'm hoping one day I'll have 1,000 subscribers. Actually make, a little bit of money off ad revenue and stuff. But that's a dream. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but one can dream. Let me think. Yeah, and that's all the basics. You can keep up if you're from romhacking.net. You'll see on the thread for the game, I've got a topic on that. So if you're ever wanting to know when the next one's up, if there's any news about it, I post in there. And obviously I post to YouTube about stuff. Okay, so that does it for this latest Devblog number 30 on my work on the project. Obviously, in Devblog number 31, we'll have floor number 14 done. So maybe in another 2 to 3 weeks, we'll have that done. Fingers crossed. Alright. Well, guys, have a good one, and we'll see you in the next Devblog.